Hi everyone, I'm Geri Ford and welcome to my studio. And tonight we're going to learn how to make this really cute gift. It's a tea wallet and it makes a great gift for any tea lover friend you have or relative. It's very simple to make. All you need is a sewing machine and a few supplies. And see, it'll carry 6 tea bags. You could also put business cards or credit cards in here as well. And it's a nice gift. And it's simple to make. It only takes about 15 minutes to make this, so it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, send me an email at waltzquilt@yahoo.com and I'll try to answer it for you. Also, if you would like the written instructions, then send me an email request and I'll be happy to send it to you in PDF format. It's a free pattern. Okay, let's make the tea wallet. Okay, so for this you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric, 8 inches wide by 6 inches high. If it's directional, you want to keep that in mind. And I'm going to use the same from the front and the back, but you could use 2 different fabrics. That's 6 inches by 8 inches. You're going to need 1 piece of Decker bond, and this is going to be 7.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and this is going to get fused to the front, whichever one you determine is the front of your tea wallet. Okay, for the pockets you're going to need 3 fabrics, and this is my third, and this is going to be 4.5 inches wide by 8 inches high, and you're going to need 3 of those. I'm going to use 3 different colors here. Those are my pockets. For the tab, I'm going to need about a 1 3/4 inch wide by 3 inches high for the tab. You're going to need 2 cam snaps. You're going to need a piece of Decker bond about a 1/2 inch by 3 inches for the tab. Give that a little stiffening. And for the pockets, you're going to need 2 inches by 7.5 inches wide for the pocket. So the first thing we're going to do is press. We're going to need to take my back and I'm going to press on the Decker bond according to the instructions, or any fusible heavyweight interfacing. You could also use fusible fleece. I prefer to press it from this side because I don't want to get any of the adhesive stuck. So hold that on for whatever it says. Okay, that's good and stuck. And I'm going to take my pockets and I'm going to fold them in half. And then on the front of the pocket, going to center this along the fold and just press it down. I like the pockets to have a little more body because the pockets tend to stretch out. Okay, and I'm going to do this for all 3. Okay, here's the pockets. Okay, I'm going to take this one little 1/2 inch piece of Decker bond and just sort of place it in the middle and press it into place. So now let's go to the sewing machine. Okay, first of all, we're going to prepare the pockets. Okay, I'm just going to turn right sides together and sew a 1/4 inch seam right along the bottom edge. Okay, I'll do the same thing with the other pocket. Okay, I'm going to turn them right sides out. Okay, and I'm pressing the top and the bottom right along the bottom edge so that the seam is at the bottom. I'm going to make a mark. 2 1/4 and 1 1/4. Okay, I'm going to start with the top pocket. And I think I'll put the pink at the top. You put that over here. I'm just going to pin it in place. Now I would probably switch to pink thread here. I'm going to edge stitch this right across, literally just one little stitch in. A 2.5 stitch length, you don't want a real small one. And I'm just edge stitching that down. I'm going to take my middle pocket and then match that with the 1 1/4 inch line. And then edge stitch that down. And the bottom pocket has got a raw edge, so I'm going to place this down here right along the edge and edge stitch this into place. Less than a, it's just basted in, that's all. And I'm going to baste up the sides less than 1/4 inch in, just to baste the pockets in place. Okay, for the tab, I just have it pressed in here. I'm going to put this right sides together. I'm going to sew the tab 1/4 inch. All right, and I'm going to finger press it open. Okay, I pressed it with the seam in the center. Pressed it open, and on this side I'm going to just simply, let me draw this. Okay, I'm going to just sew a V into one side of it. And turn. Okay, going to trim this. Clip my threads. Clip this close. Point. We want to make the tab. So the next thing is to make the tab. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to cut. I cut this one too narrow. It should be 2 inches, so I'm going to do 1/8 inch. I'm just going to do this one straight across. Forget it. I'm not going to try to do the point. It does not have to have a point. I'm not doing one. Changed my mind. It's longer than what I need, and so now I need to somehow get this to turn, which is the fun part. There's some blunt nose scissors. I'm going to push it through if I can. Here we go. Okay. And you could top stitch the sides of it, but you know, I don't want to, so I don't care. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting the cam snaps on. So on this piece, I am going to put the male one. So I need to make a hole in the center. And you want the side that does not have the seam. This might be easier if you just do it to where you fold it over twice and then top stitch it down. Could do that too. Okay, and the side that does not have the seam, you're going to put the smooth side on. And then you take the plastic side and put against the black smooth side, and the other side goes on that. Okay. And then usually what I do is I go downstairs and let Terry get it in here good. Or what you can also do is take it to the edge of the table like this. Put like that. Stand up and put your entire body weight behind it. There. That's the only way I can do it. Okay. To determine the placement for the other side. This one is going to go, so I always have to do this because I can't think where it goes. Okay, I put it together like it's going to be finished, and I know it's going to come from over here, so I know it's got a snap's got to go in here. So, okay, put my finger there, and I'll find the center chalk, and about an inch in this time. This comes from underneath. This is easier to put on now. If you want this to be a little stronger, you can actually put another little piece of Deco Bond right here. And same thing, put the flat here. And squash it and then put it on the table. Smash it down. There. Okay, that's as good as I can get it. I've got the top part, pockets with the folds up. Of course, it's directional, so I'm going to put this on this way, pin it in place. I am going to sew this 1/4 of an inch around, and I'm going to leave an opening on the side where you want the tab. So I want the tab here. If I'm looking at the pockets, I want the tab on this side. So that's where my tab's going to be, but I'm not sure how long I want it to be yet. I'm going to start right here, about an inch from the bottom. So 1/4 of an inch around. All the way around. I'm going to come over to this iron and I'm going to fold these back and give it a good press. That will make it so that you have a nice clean finish. Same thing on this side, fold it back. And press. And clip your corners. So now I'm going to turn this right sides out. Alrighty, and now I'm going to press it out just a little bit better, or a lot better. Nice and flat. Here. Okay, I'm going to, you want to fold it in half, find your exact center. And mark the center. I'm just going to stick a pin in there. Open it up. I'm going to mark it down the middle, sort of get it as straight as I can. And then I'm going to mark about 1/8 of an inch on either side of that line. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch my needle. I'm going to leave the black bobbin thread in, but I'm going to switch the needle thread to white. Then just go either side. No, this way. Okay. And just stitch it down. So you're stitching a spine down the center. Next, just to determine where I want to put the tab. Okay, so here's my tab. I'm going to just finger press this along the spine. Okay. You can, if you like, to know how thick you want it, if you want to put your tea bags in there or post-it notes or something. I'm just putting them in so I know how much room, how much space I need. Okay, and then like that. Okay, so then I'm going to fit this inside here. Line it up with the center. Put them together. Line it up good. And that's about where I want it. Okay, so I just pin it for a second. Don't pin your tea bags in there. It's not a good idea. And then I'm going to top stitch all the way around. I'll start at one end. That pin out. You want your stitch length a little bit longer, like at about a 3. And this is where you need to make sure you've got the size 14 needle in. Now here's where you got to be careful because you may have trouble getting over that spot. So I can feel it right here. So I'm just gonna go slow. There we go. It's good. Good to go. I'm going to go over this strap part a second spot and reverse, and it's done. Okay, and here it is. Looks really good. I'll put in my tea bags. It holds 6 tea bags. I hope you like this project. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you'd like a copy of the written instructions, send me an email request at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to send you the written instructions. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. Okay, so this is so much fun. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.